I've kept bees since I've been like 10 or 11 years old. I've been a beekeeper. Even to my 20 years in the Navy, the places I was in the world, like I was in Sicily a lot of my life, and I got to know the local yokels and down in the orange orchards and that, and I get out and talk to them. We butts around the bees. But anyway, I'm originally from the Hudson River Valley of New York. That's my real home, where I grew up. My real home where I grew up is home now. But anyway, and that's big in apples and grapes and that area. That's the apple growing country of New York. And bees use bees for pollination. And that's how I got into it. You either collect a swarm of bees, which I did the other day up in St. Raymond's. You collect a swarm, or you purchase them and they actually mail them to you. U.S. mail carries bees. And that's people who they breed bees specially and put them in. It's a long, long story to get in how to do that, but that's how you get them. In the state of Illinois, it's against the law to interfere with agriculture. And that's the way it is, and bees are agriculture. In fact, bees are the linchpin or the center pin of all agriculture. If you don't have bees, honeybees especially, you don't have food. It's that simple. Come here. Come here. Come on, get up here. Right next to them. Get in here with me with the bees. What they're doing, see this right here?
Oh yeah.
What they're doing is called fanning.
Okay.
They have fresh honey in here, and they're causing air circulation through this thing to dry them down, to dry the honey down. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing. There they are. Little booger's got this glued already. See, they're starting to work new frames. They're starting to build comb on this one here.
Okay.
See what they're doing that?
Yeah. Wow.
They're not going to hurt you. See?
Okay. Let me get the fanning over here.
And that one stung me because it doesn't like me. Out of there.
Now, how often do you get stung, and why usually is it that you get stung?
3-4 times a day when I open them up.
So what do you usually try to watch out for? How do you keep from getting stung?
How do I keep from getting stung? I don't. I just get some kind of used to it. I get stung there, right there. It didn't bother me. Flick them off. Away we go.
I got him.
See, there's the new honey right in here. That's brand new stuff.
Okay.
And they got that going through this hive, and that's what they're drying down.
Okay.
They dry the liquid. They dry it down to an 18% moisture rate. So 18 to. They prefer 17, but they anywhere between 18 and 20%.
Okay.
They'll cap it over. And this one's been in operation for like 3 or 4 days. That's the inner cover for air circulation. That's nothing but sugar and water. One down, one to go. Well, okay, in the modern world here, they specifically breed queen bees. If the beehive themselves selects which cell they're going to make a queen, they're going to make into a queen, okay? And what they'll do is they'll make 4 cells if they're going to swarm. Swarming is the way of multiplying. We're getting 2 subjects together here, but you have to. They make 4 cells. The first queen to hatch out goes and kills the other 3. Okay, when that happens, she'll hang around the hive a little bit, and then she'll go out on a mating flight. She'll mate with about 20 to 30 drones. And then she'll come back and wander around the hive a little bit more for 4 or 5 days, and then she'll start laying eggs. And it takes 26 days for the egg to a bee.
How long do you think it'll take them to make those combs that you were talking about?
Well, as soon as the next good honey flow, next big flower outburst comes, there's a ton of it. I mean, they can if it's a good big honey flow, they'll fill one of those supers in a day.
Wow.
And if not, it'll take 2 to 3 weeks of them putzing along, doing this and that.
Now you put in an empty frame, right?
Yeah.
That was totally empty. There's no screen.
No. That's called foundation. It's already got those little things. That's made out of beeswax, and it's already got the little hole in it, the indent that they're going to build out from. Okay. That empty one, that's a do-it-yourself. The bees will just make their own. They'll plug the top, and it'll come out all kinds of weird shapes and forms. And they're kind of neat in the fact that you'll see ripples in them. And what the ripples are is they're using the wind currents for cooling. And they kind of direct the wind currents. They understand this stuff. We don't. They do. I mean, in about the 60 years I've been keeping bees, even when I was in the Navy, I was stationed up in Maine, I had bees, you name it. I had bees all around California, I had them. But the thing I've learned is the bees know more about being bees than I do. Just leave them alone and let them be bees. And they're not going to bother you. There's no sense of jumping up and down, screaming and hooting and hollering. I just showed you where I went in there looking just like this. Hey, what I do in the winter is I come down and I wrap it in tar paper. Take a staple gun and just shoot tar paper around it. I make sure they have at least 100 pounds of honey left in the hive. And put a little hole in the tar paper where they can come in and out. That's synced with the hole in the hive right now. So there's air circulation to it. Cold don't kill bees. Bees can take the cold. They can't take wind, and they cannot take moisture. And that's the important thing, to have the air circulating through it, is the moisture, because they breathe. And when they breathe, they exhale and moisture. And that's what you have to do. And what they do is they form a cluster around each other. And the queen kind of stays in the middle of that cluster. And they wander around the hive and eat the honey. And when you put it out for the winter, the one thing you got to be sure to do is make sure they have pollen located close to that honey. Because if they can't get to the pollen, they won't have the energy. See, honey gives them calories. The pollen gives them the protein. They won't have the protein to wander around. They'll kind of just starve themselves to death with total honey stores. How's that? This one's just about full. See, that's why I got the other one on there, just starting into that other one. Come on, cut it out. Got me once, you ain't gonna get me again. All right, let's put that on there. What I'm doing with this one here, there's nothing in it. I'm just going to let them build their own. See, this is foundation for them to, work on or whatever. this one, I'm just going to let them do their own thing. And people are killing off the bees with their Roundup and all this other garbage they put on plants. That's the stuff that's killing them. Insecticides, herbicides, pesticides, and every other side that's killing them, and it's going to eventually kill people. That stuff causes cancer. I don't care what they tell you. I'm a cancer survivor, and that stuff causes cancer. Have a nice day. Bees are the, as I call them, the linchpin of agriculture. Without the bees, you don't get pollination. And without bees, you've eaten your last almond. You're never going to eat an almond again if the bees disappear. And blueberries are very, very dependent on them. And so is everything in the squash family. All squashes, pumpkins, stuff like that. You have to have bees for them, or you'll get just a minimal crop of just wind-blown pollination is all you'll get if you don't have bees. So the biggest part of your food chain is interrupted without bees.
I have a question for you, Bill.
All right.
I have 3 box gardens. I don't add any insecticide. I weed it before I plant, and you know, some of the vegetables, mostly vegetables, and the vegetables grow flowers, and the bees come.
Yeah.
Is that basically all I can do for the bees?
That's all you can do for them.
Okay.
Or you plant flowers that attract them. There's certain flowers like I can't say the name really. It's Minerva. It's called bee balm. It's a red flower. They love that. Russian sage, they get into that. All the mints, they just go nuts over mints. Clover, these little white Dutch clovers, they love that stuff. And it's any type of clover. Now, the other thing I've been doing lately, I'm getting back into breeding what's called 4.9 bees. That's the original, real size of a bee is 4.9 millimeters. Okay. They've got them up now in today's world because of the breeding and everything else. It was started back in the late 1800s. They're about 5.1 millimeters. And the thought was the bigger the bee, the more honey you're going to get. Well, it's just the opposite. The smaller the bee, the more honey you're going to get. And yeah, I just shot that whole process, that whole thought process down. And I'm doing what is called regressing my bees, taking them down to 4.9 again. And the smaller bee does better. It hatches quicker, it's less prone to any kind of diseases, and it's just a better bee.